Hello again. Moving on to our next module, we are going to talk about the importance of volunteer work. It seems fairly simple, but there are some intricacies that you should be aware of. Volunteering can provide you with a competitive edge. It can most importantly allow you to showcase another side and aspect of yourself, which is different from the academic passion that we've been talking about. So it allows you to speak passionately about a cause that you are interested in and a cause that you're willing to dedicate time to. So whether it is the environment, whether it is women's rights, whether it is transgender rights, whatever speaks to you, you should kind of dedicate yourself to that particular cause. It should not be done from the perspective of what do I think would look good on a resume, rather what really speaks to me. It's a great, volunteering has many benefits. It's a great way to showcase leadership as well. You can gain leadership experience by taking the initiative at your school to put together funds for a particular cause, to say fundraise for orphanages or another body or organization that you care about. But take time to research the cause that inspires you. We will talk about how it's important to be consistent and not jump from one cause to another, not to do so many different things, but really kind of have a theme to the cause you're volunteering around. This shows admission officers that you can meaningfully contribute to the campus. So it's got another very important side to it. What really attracts a lot of students is one of the key benefits: scholarships. Some countries have specific scholarships tied to community service. Canada is one of them. University of Toronto, for example, looks at leadership and community service as key components of not only the college application process, but merit scholarships as well. So keep that in mind, that volunteering can really pay off big time in the end. As with internships, this is your opportunity to network and to develop your professional skills. Please always ask your supervisor or whichever member of the organization is overseeing your work for a letter of recommendation. Once again, I cannot stress this enough. Many students come out with a certificate and are very happy with that certificate, and you should be for all the effort and the hours you've put in. But that letter of recommendation is more essential, guys. It will come in handy. It allows the supervisor to speak to exactly what you did while you were volunteering, for what cause, what your duties were, what your responsibilities were, how many hours you put in, what duration you did it, and more importantly, about your personality, how passionately you went about your work, and so on. So please do remember to ask for that letter of recommendation. As I mentioned earlier, a key benefit of the volunteering experience is don't volunteer for the heck of it. Do your research and find something that you can really relate to. This will also help you speak naturally and passionately in interviews that you are shortlisted for in the college application process. Many universities, thanks to COVID, have now given the opportunity to sign up for virtual interviews. This is a benefit and an advantage for you in the college admissions process, not a disadvantage or another hurdle you need to cross. Why? Because you have an opportunity to put a face next to that application. And for most Pakistanis who are very articulate and have great experience, this is another way to kind of showcase a good side of yourself. And one of the key questions that is often asked in the interview, what are you passionate about? What community service you did? So if you pick up a topic that you really like, it could even be sports, and you say, I like to volunteer in the sports community. We don't have the right kind of facilities. Not all our children have access. I help street children with getting access to equipment, whatever it may be, whatever makes you happy and joyful, so that you can talk about that topic off the bat. It also kind of gives you an opportunity to learn about yourself and figure out where you like to give back down the road when you're established and making lots of money. When should volunteering be done? It can be done, unlike internships, which I mentioned, are ideally suited to the summer. You have a lot more choices with volunteer work. You can do it during the course of your school year, putting in half a day of a Sunday over multiple Sundays. You could do it during your winter break, like half day during your winter break could be devoted to volunteer work. You can participate in one-off events as well, such as the Lahore Literary Festival, Little Art. They give opportunities for volunteering at events. Try and do that in areas which are, once again, either related to your academic passion or related to the cause you have decided speaks most to you. As I spoke earlier, you can always use your family and friends network in order to get that experience. And as it's volunteer work and naturally goes unpaid, most people do not have a problem with you going to a particular organization and offering your time, your skills, your passion. So it's easy to get this under your belt. Once again, check with your school counselor. Does your school have any relationships that you can take advantage of? Many schools do. So that is another avenue for you to check out. As always, if you Google, you would be surprised at the amount of stuff which comes up. And you could narrow it down by city, you could narrow it down by district, you could narrow it down by subject. So if you put up environmental volunteer opportunities, you could search it by subject as well. And as always, there are professional outfits like Ion Ivy to help you go down that road. Once again, COVID is not an excuse, guys. There are now many opportunities and many ways to volunteer that you can do sitting from the safety and comfort of your home. So please do check it out. Keep that in mind. It can easily be done. You can find volunteer opportunities through clubs, school, religious institutions, or even on your own. But what I want to kind of emphasize is not all volunteer work is considered equal in the college admissions process. It is quality which counts, not quantity. So you can work from 100 hours a year to 1,000. There are 4 questions that colleges will want you to answer. Why have you volunteered? How you chose that assignment? How you handled your responsibilities, and what have you gained from this experience. Be prepared to talk about these 4 aspects in either your supplementary essays, in your interviews, in the additional information section, but be prepared to answer those questions. The hours are important in the sense that when you're filling out the common application or the coalition application, for instance, you have to document the number of hours you have volunteered and the number of weeks you have volunteered per year. So try and keep a track of those in case you think you will forget. Have an Excel sheet where you're marking kind of all your activities and how much time you're putting in them. It's another really important element that I cannot emphasize enough. You should be consistent. So it is better to get involved in 1 or 2 causes rather than going all over the place, and sometimes simply quitting in between because that cause is not speaking to you. So not more than 1 or 2 causes, please. Find your niche, stick with that cause, and it is very important to make an impact. Whether that impact is big or small, it's a project that you're doing in your community or neighborhood can be equally important if you're showcasing what exactly your responsibilities were and what you did about it, because this requires consistency and commitment in order to make an impact, and that's what colleges wish to see. There are bonus points for volunteer work, which is consistent with your educational or career goals. So not a necessity, but an added bonus. So for instance, if you are interested in medical school, consider volunteering in a hospital or working with children with disabilities. If you're interested in law, try working in or volunteering your time in the local government office or on a campaign, and there are always election campaigns going on in our country. Also, if you're interested in having good public relations skills, organize fundraisers for nonprofits. If you like to cook, work at a soup kitchen, or you can even make your own homemade meals and deliver them to a community, which is what many students did during COVID. Once again, there are many, many opportunities. You can always take the initiative and start your own thing as well. So, not a necessity that your volunteer work is aligned with your academic passion, but recommended.